Critical Thinking in College by Team 3. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is a process which requires you to actively use information by conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and evaluating it until you reach a conclusion. To understand the benefits of critical thinking, you need to understand the difference between passive and active learning. Passive learning is the most common mode of learning used in classrooms. It is normally what will come to mind when you think of school, the traditional routine where a teacher gives a lecture or a student reads a book while taking notes. This method of learning does have some benefits, such as the ability to present a great deal of information for recall in a very short amount of time. The important concepts and content of the class can also be given to the student in an organized and concrete manner. As they are most often exposed to this method of teaching, students tend to prefer it because it will give them less anxiety and they will feel more secure with it. A drawback to this method of learning is that it can get boring, doing the same things over and over again and again. Because there is no thinking involved and no opportunity to connect the information to the real world, as a student you don't really know if you know the content or if you are just reciting what was given to you. Also, with all the lecture and note-taking, there's no time to discuss concepts or clarify questions. And on top of that, most students don't feel comfortable asking questions or voicing when they don't understand something. Active learning, on the other hand, involves each student through active participation to stimulate their critical thinking abilities with a variety of activities. It presents students with an opportunity to show their initiative by actively involving themselves and engaging in things such as the class discussions. A student is more likely to talk and be involved when they can offer their own input and give their own ideas. All of these opportunities stimulate their interest and increase their understanding of the subject. So it is easier for a student to determine if they know the information, not just if they can repeat it. And because all students learn differently, active learning is the best choice to present information in ways that students of all learning types can benefit from. So how can you think critically? The main key to critical thinking is asking questions. You want to ask a lot of questions and you want to ask all different kinds of questions. Ask anything that will jumpstart your brain and get you thinking. You want to question answers as well. Just because someone answered your question doesn't mean that it is the final answer. Question their answer. Don't be content in giving up. You need to analyze, evaluate, probe, ponder, write down your thoughts, and ask more questions until you know that you are satisfied with your final conclusion. And it is always beneficial to have a group of team members to help you with all of this. Teamwork is one of the most common and most effective forms of active learning because thoughts and ideas can be exchanged and examined within the small group. These team activities increase student participation and interest because students are one of only a few individuals presenting their own opinions. This group collaboration also lets students take responsibility for not only their own learning, but also for their group members and peers. Team collaboration also helps students produce better results and will instill important skills necessary beyond college. Changes in today's job market have put an increased emphasis on the importance of collaboration within the workforce. Today's employees need to be able to form non-competitive cooperative groups where they can think creatively, solve problems, and make decisions as a team. You also need to be able to present and clarify your ideas to others, as well as examine and evaluate new perspectives of group members so that you can produce better results than any individual. So critical thinking is an invaluable skill that you will utilize well beyond college.